What's up, YouTube? Scotty Tradition, back with another video. Hope everybody is doing well. I think we're about 7 or 8 weeks into quarantine now, or being off work or whatnot, staying at home orders. And for me, to be honest, it's actually been all right. It's been great. I've been able to do some things with my kids that I would not been able to normally do. We try to go hiking about 3 or 4 times a week. We went hiking both days this weekend. So just being able to take the time and do things with them that I might not normally be able to do has been great. It had been far too long of a time before I had any real time off work like I have right now. So I've actually been enjoying it, to be honest. And big credit to my wife. She's continued to work as well, and goes to work Monday through Friday every day of the week. She works in a lab. So her work is needed, and ironically, like I mentioned in the past, I actually work in a hospital too, in imaging, but what I do has very little to do with COVID-19. But as soon as we start allowing for those elective procedures again, surgeries, like knee replacements and meniscal repairs on your knee and shoulder repairs and all that kind of orthopedic stuff that happens, then our schedules will fill up again, and I'll be happy to go back to work at that point. But as of right now, we haven't fully opened all that stuff back up yet, so it's going to be more of a trickle in, I think. It's not just going to be like, bam, our schedule's full again. So, but yeah, I'm just enjoying it, taking it day to day. It's been pretty cold up here in Wisconsin, to be honest. It's been like yesterday was 42 degrees with flurries in May, and that's not cool. We wait all year in the upper Midwest for nice weather, and we're just not getting it yet. We're already in May. There's not even leaves on most of the trees yet. It's kind of sad. But I'm sure before long it'll heat up a little bit out there. So I do have a few pickups in the card world. I have not been buying a ton lately. Man, what is going on out there in the card world? It's just been absolutely bananas as far as some of the prices go. And I'm talking like day to day, week to week. Like, I have to check like every couple times a week on some of my stuff, and it's either gone way up, it's gone up hundreds of dollars in a couple days. Just depends on what you're after. First, I'll go through a couple of, I'm working on that Packer Hall of Fame, Team Hall of Fame autograph set to kind of complement the Team Hall of Fame set that I have. And I was able to get 3 more cards in. A couple videos back, I did a video where I got like 27 cards in, and I actually sent those off to Garrett Card Cutter, and they're going to be a part of his next PSA DNA sub, which I believe PSA is now back in order working, so looking forward to that. So I sent those off to him, and then I also was able to get 3 others here. So I got the 89 score supplemental Sterling Sharp autograph. Great card. Then awesome card from here from 68 Tops, the Donnie Anderson auto. Beautiful card there. And then also this one is really cool. The 58 Tops, Ron Kramer. And this is a pretty big card, especially in high grade. I know I have it in a PSA 8, and I think there is like one PSA 8.5 and one 9 ever graded. So there's not... This card did not hold very well, to be honest. But nonetheless, it's really cool to have his auto on a card from 58 Tops. Super cool. So I was able to snag all 3 of these for like $27 shipped. So to me, that's a no-brainer. I don't see the Ron Kramer rookie autographed a ton. The Sharp, you see a few of those, and I was really fortunate to have somebody in one of the Packer groups I'm in reach out to me and say he had a couple to send my way. So these will be on the next sub to Garrett. And then, actually, I actually sold a few things. So one of the cards in the top 250 set is the 1989 Upper Deck Ken Griffey Jr. Rookie card. So I purchased that card about 3 years ago, 2.5, 3 years ago, something like that, and picked it up for about $375 at the time, if I remember. And so I sold that about a week and a half ago now. Sold for almost $1,400. So quite a significant rate of return on that card. And may it go up a little more yet? Maybe. May it come back down now a bit more? Maybe it will. But to be honest, I was happy to take the $1,000 ish profit on it and turn that into something else that I needed. And then another thing I did is I was able to buy this because I still need the card for the top 250 set. I was able to buy this card in a 9 for my buddy Trav in the LLC Facebook group. So, real nice card there, actually. Pretty centered. Tiny of tiniest edge issues towards the top there. Kind of hard to see, but it's really it's not bad at all. It's very hardly noticeable. And also, what I like to look for is the fully intact hologram inside the diamond on the back. And this one has it too. And I paid about $180 for this card. So I was happy to in this case, I was actually thrilled to downgrade. I'm totally happy with a 9. Now, a lot of people hold this card in high regard, and that's totally understandable. But in 1989, I was 6 years old, so I was not collecting yet. So the cards that are more nostalgic to me were a few years after this card came out. So this is a card that I'm totally happy to own in a PSA 9 for $180 rather than holding a PSA 10 for whatever. I think they're going for anywhere from $1,300 to $1,450 at this point, so depending on the card or the auction or whatnot. So I was happy to downgrade, and so I got this card, and I also was able to pick up this. A chainsaw. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So this is the Stihl MSA 220. See? And basically it's a battery-powered chainsaw, and their huge battery goes right in here, and it's got about as much power as some of the probably mid-level Stihl gas chainsaws. So take a look at the chain here. So I've actually cut up quite a bit of wood with this bad boy already, so it's really nice to have around the house. I live on kind of like a wooded lot, so I always have stuff to do, trees falling down. I had some trees to clean up from a storm last year, so pretty cool chainsaw. And I would say this, they're not super cheap. The chainsaw itself goes for about $3.99, and the big part of this thing is the battery. The batteries are huge, so you can cut for quite a while with them, and cut with good power too. So the batteries themselves, these big lithium batteries, are like $230 a piece, and then you got the charger on top of that and some other things. So yeah, so it was cool to turn the Griffey card into this chainsaw, which is something I needed and could really use. And I've used it twice already, and I made a bunch of firewood. I've cut up a bunch of stuff, and I'm gonna use it for a long time. This chainsaw is probably gonna last me quite a while. And then also just downgrading to a 9, so I was totally okay with that. So I ended up selling that Griffey for almost $1,400, and then a couple months back I had gotten. Now me and my buddy Dane, CardTech710, had made a bet on the Packers-Seahawks game, and of course the playoff game, and the Packers won the game. So Dane had sent me a care package with a couple cards in it. That was sort of the bet. We put together a care package, sent it to that person. Well, in the care package was a '98 Bowman Chrome Peyton Manning rookie. At the time, I was like, "Oh, okay, this is a cool card to own. Very cool, you know." I think it was like maybe $100 card at that point in a 10. Usually his '98 SP Authentic is a little bit more sought after. I think that's the card people look at for his blue chip rookie, and that's a card I would like to personally get at some point, because it is part of the top 250 set. But so many cards have just gone up in the stratosphere. But as I digress, I was able to sell that Peyton Manning '98 Bowman Chrome PSA 10 for about $625. This is a card that was $100 like 3 months ago, and now it's going for that price. So between the Griffey and the Manning, it's about $2,000 right there. So it's like, it really is a good time to kind of go through your collection of cards and see which sets you're really working on and what you could afford to possibly sell at this point. I'm not a big seller of cards. I'm a collector. You know, I'm 75% collector, maybe 25% investor. Although I do grab a few cards here and there to hold for investment purposes. But man, the prices right now, I haven't seen anything quite like this. I remember in 2016 when prices had that huge spike, and a lot of that was vintage related, and they went way up, but a lot of those came back down to earth a little bit. Are these gonna follow the same thing? Are we gonna see this big spike now, and then as sports comes back, those people will occupy themselves more with watching sports and sports gambling and all that stuff, and then the cards go away? Or is this just gonna continue on for a while? I guess that's the $1,000,000 question right there. And I don't know the answer to that question, but in this case, I was happy to move these cards so I can focus on a little bit more PC stuff, so to speak. So that's all I got for you guys right now. So thanks everybody for watching. Hope you guys all doing okay out there, and hopefully it gets warmer in Wisconsin, because I'm kind of sick of cold weather. I just want it to be nice out so I can just go sit around in the nice warm weather, but that's not going to happen for at least another week and a half, apparently. Again, thanks everybody for watching, and hope you guys all have a great week. If you have some cards in your collection that you might feel like moving and capitalizing on now, feel free. I am not selling a ton of stuff. It's just that I kind of cherry-picked 2 cards that I was willing to live without, and in the one case I downgraded to what I think is an equally nice-looking PSA 9. And since the majority of the cards I use for display anyways, I don't think there's really that big a deal in displaying a 10 or a 9. So I was okay with it. You guys take care. Thanks for watching my channel. Talk to you soon.